What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, it's the new year, and I think it was Dark Doc 1985 said the Xbox tax is starting off the year, and I'm like, I mean, if you're a conspiracy theorist, I can see how there would be a motion or a movement to conspire against Xbox in any way possible. Sure. And a lot of it is like information based. It's the same thing that like Russia does and China does to us, basically. And yeah, I mean, you know, that's something that might happen. But let's put that all aside for a second. And let's get down to the facts, or what I believe to be the actual reality of the situation, which is Game Science. That's the studio that's making Wukong, or made Wukong, or making Wukong, because it doesn't seem like they're very good at making games, since their games run like ass chips, nuggets, dingleberry. Anyway, you understand. So the conspiracy side was that back when the game was supposed to be on Xbox, they had the badges on the trailer. Xbox was there. Then some months later, there was a deal, quote unquote, or whatever. We'll get to that, with PlayStation, and the Xbox logo disappears. It's no longer coming out for the Xbox right away or whatever. And so people with conspiracy, Sony money had it done, blah, 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 for the time exclusivity, blah, 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 right? And I'm like, that's possible, because that's what they've been doing all this generation and most of last generation. You know, once again, they copied Microsoft from the 360 era. That's what happened. But since the industry has changed, that doesn't work. I mean, it kind of works, but it doesn't work, because the main goal isn't to sell consoles anymore. The main goal is to sell as many games as possible and as many places as possible. That's the main goal. Because all of the biggest games that are making billions and billions of dollars every day are not exclusive. Period. Anyway, so recently, well, I mean, back then, Microsoft said we can't comment on deals that publishers that'll be our partners, blah, 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 right? Insinuating that there was a deal, right? Now, my thing, well, first off, recently the director of the game put out a statement saying, oh man, if it wasn't for the 10 gigabyte RAM and our inexperience to optimize for 10 gigs or 8, it would probably be about 8. It's hard, right? And I'm like, okay. And what's happening is every one of these outlets, if you will, or even YouTubers. I got a problem with Spawn Wave real quick, because he's one of them. They're saying, oh, it's the Xbox Series S. It has nothing it's the Xbox Series S, only 10 gigabytes of RAM, blah, 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 right? And I'm like, literally in the same sentence, he says, we can't do it because we suck. Paraphrasing, of course. We have no experience. We don't have enough experience. We used to make phone games. We ain't got all this. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, look, Spawn Wave, I used to like them until today, and I saw the video. I was like, you just going to jump over that part of the sentence? Did you not comprehend the fact that he said we don't have experience and we having troubles? Now, the whole Microsoft saying that it was a deal, two things could be possible. One, there was a deal, and Sony said take the badge off, you don't put it on there, blah, 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 right? Or Sony sent some devs or whatever over to Game Science to help them with the PlayStation version, meaning they basically sent their own little team to make the PlayStation 5 version work as good as it does, which is not good. And in that, when you pay people to do work, that's money. So if you look at it a certain way, yeah, they money had it. No, they sent people over there to work to help the game, but it still costs money. So in essence, they did put money into getting the game on PlayStation as opposed to Xbox. Now, did Xbox do the same thing? Probably not. They probably saw the game. It's like, that's hot trash. Y'all better GG or something. And I can see Microsoft's stance, because it's like, yo, we got all these studios, we got our own children to worry about. We ain't got no time to be sending people over to you because y'all don't know how to do Unreal Engine 5. You know what I'm saying? I think it's Unreal Engine 4. I'm not sure actually. And I'm thinking, okay, so this studio, in over their heads, obviously, they got some good animators, they got some good like creature designers and stuff like that, right? But they kind of suck because the game itself isn't really that good. You know, I've heard reviews talking about, the boss fights are good, but everything else between is kind of garbagey, kind of whack. And I'm like, well, that's because they've been doing phone games forever. You know what I'm saying? And so that illustrates their inexperience in game design and also in optimization, which is what's happening right now. And so I think it's probably the latter, where Sony sent a team over there, which is money, and Microsoft didn't. And I would say that I think everything is good. Everything is cool. This game, it's a game. I wish it was better, sure, but the studios that's making it, they're green. They don't know what they're doing pretty much, and that's why they can't make or optimize for the Series X, which is kind of BS because, they optimize for the Steam Deck. Well, I will reverse that because Steam Deck has more RAM than the Series S, so sure. But I bet you they optimize for those lower spec graphics cards, which have 8 gigs of RAM, right? Or those just don't work on there? You know what I'm saying? That's because that's basically what the Series S is, 8 gig for the graphics, 2 gig for the OS. Well, 8 gig for everything, so shared, I guess. I think 2 for OS. So it's actually less, probably like 4 or 6 or something like that. Well, anyway, doesn't matter. But there could be a conspiracy, but either way, I would say on its surface it doesn't look good for Microsoft. But when you kind of dig down into it and you think about, like, try to put yourself into Microsoft's shoes. The big corporation, they have all these studios. They have to take care of their own stuff first, make sure their stuff is hot. You know what I'm saying? And then they're looking at this fledgling company with their first AAA game that's not that good. They probably sent the build over and it was hot trash garbage. And they were like, could you help us optimize it? I'm like, y'all need to go back and go to optimization 101 or something. Go to the Epic Game Store. I'm sure they got some tutorials on how to make it not look like this. Okay, so how about you do that? And I think there is an inherent I think game science illustrates an inherent problem with Unreal Engine, in that a lot of people think that Unreal Engine is like, oh, plug and play. I can just get it and then put all my stuff on it, and I got a game like Gears of War. And it's like, that's not how it works. It's a good foundation to start with, but you need people who know what they're doing. You need to know how to optimize. You need to know how to do all kinds of magic tricks, because game dev is magic, basically. It's a bunch of magicians making stuff appear and disappear and run smoothly and look awesome. And if you're not a good magician, we're gonna be like, I know how he did that trick. That was hot trash. Come on, let's go to the food court and get some scones. I don't know. Why scones? I don't know. Elephant ear. They don't sell those in the food court. Donuts, maybe. Anyway, pretzels, definitely. So, yeah, I think in the end of the day, it's not a big deal because the game is kind of mid. The fact that it got nominated for Game of the Year is just BS. That's politics. And it won some Steam awards, I guess. Once again, politics. I don't think the game is... some aspects of it are good and cool, but like overall as a game, no, it's not the best. It's not the best of Unreal Engine, whatever it is, 4 or 5. So I think it's been blown out of proportion. And honestly, what this director is doing by obfuscating, kind of, sort of, he didn't lie, but he put in both possibly a lie and possibly a truth, and omitting the actual truth, which is the status of, did they get money or did they just get help from Sony support? Say it. Say either you got paid a bag to be exclusive or they came over and helped you with the game. Say either or, and then everything will be squashed. Nobody be like, oh, but no, he said they came and helped him. That's all. But they're not saying anything, which leads me to believe that they got the bag, that they got the exclusive bag. That's because if it was just help, then they would say, yeah, it was just help. But you know what I'm saying? They don't want to look like the bad guy, right? Nobody wants to look like the bad guy. And so I don't think it matters, because like if we look down the road a couple of years, Wukong, that's what it is. Wukong is gonna be like nothing. It's like, oh yeah, that game that was not as good as all these other games that I can mention, like Stella. I think Stellar Blade's probably a better game than Wukong. I mean, Fable's gonna be better, obviously. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, better. I think Starfield's better than Wukong. I said it. I've been playing that. There's so many games that are better than Wukong, and we're harping on it because of the exclusivity kind of angle, and it's not nothing. It doesn't really matter. And the people who are perpetuating the falsity that is, oh, it's the Xbox Series S. Look at all the other games that happen to be on the X and the S, no problem. You look at Microsoft, look at the two games that won best graphics. Indiana Jones and Great Circle, Hellblade 2, both on the S, no problem. So the problem is not the S. The problem is inexperienced devs who are trying to obfuscate why they are so inexperienced, or the fact that they are so inexperienced, inept at coding for big boy consoles, because phone is a different, it's not just flippity swipe, pressity press. You gotta like put some controls and stuff in it. So it's different. They can't do it. They don't want to just say, oh man, we suck at gaming. We suck at making games. Microsoft don't want to shout them out. Microsoft don't want to say, yeah, they ain't good. I mean, we looked at the build and it was hot trash, but we didn't want to say that. So we said some other stuff to make it sound like, and what Microsoft said wasn't necessarily false either. It wasn't a lie, because it could have been Sony sent people over there to help, which is a deal. It's a deal to get the game on PlayStation. They sent people over there to help, which costs money. They put money into the project that's not theirs. Same difference, except the exclusivity thing would be take off the badge. It's not going on Xbox, blah, 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 blah. So that's where, when I said that before, when that happened, I was like, okay, so if that badge was still on there, or maybe they would have set a splash screen after that, coming 2025 to Xbox or something like that, then it would have been okay. Because they could say, oh, we had to delay it because we're a small team and we needed the time to figure it out and we suck at it, so it's going to take us more time. But, they need to be more open instead of trying to, play both sides and, play funny. And I mean, I bet you Sony had something to do with how they worded that, or they just Sony fanboys and they worded it on their own. Look, I don't know. I don't care. It's like I said, the game looked cool, and then I saw the reviews. I was like, I don't care. I'm good. I don't need to play that. I don't need to play it. There's gonna be so many other games that are gonna be way better. Exposition. 33. That game. That's gonna be good. There's a lot. There's like. I think C Money and Boom, shout out to Boom C Money. They went through a list of all the games that are coming out this year, and I was like, yo, I don't have the time for all of that stuff. So I gotta be like, yo, okay, gotta finish Indy. Next game is Avowed. I'm gonna play that through. I gotta get back to Starfield, play that some more. I'm always Starfield is like a forever game. They keep putting mods in it. I'm still, let's go. It's gonna be Star Wars forever. Like that whole game is gonna be Star Wars. Anyway. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of good stuff coming out. So, well, for Xbox anyway. I don't know what PlayStation got. They got Death Stranding on the beach. Okay, so if that's your thing, sure. I played the first one for like a couple of hours. I was like, I can't play this game. Why were people hyping up this game? This is the most boringest game ever. It's so like Kojima's a special guy. But that ain't it. I'm like, nah, B. What else was I playing? Or what else they got coming? Ghost of Yotei. Looks like a PS4 game. Spider-Man 3 or Wolverine? I don't think that's coming out this year. That can't be coming out this year. And Spider-Man 3 isn't either, right? I don't think so. Those might be next gen games for real. I'm gonna say next gen, but we all know cross gen. Let's be real. What else? I know I'm forgetting something, but it's like 4 games. And the Xbox got like at least 9 that they went over. I was like, okay, there's more. I know there's more. Like smaller games, like 33 Warriors or whatever that one's called. And there's a bunch of smaller games. That the Pixel Cyberpunk game. I forgot what Replaced. Is that what it was called? Yeah, I think it was called Replaced. Anyway, I'm rambling. But anyway, I appreciate you hanging out. Listen, man, like and subscribe. Hit me in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this Xbox tax shade happening damn near the first of the year. And it's like, come on, son, can we have like some good news? They always trying to downplay and to destroy, if you will, Microsoft's standing and their Xbox's kind of momentum going forward. And the fact is they can try, but it's very hard to do it when you got all these big bangers in your catalog, and it's just, you can't deny it. It's undeniable now. So that's what Microsoft set up, and that's what's up. And all they have to do is deliver. Don't rush nothing out. They have so many games that they don't need to rush anything. They pushed Avowed because they were like, yeah, we got too much stuff, so we're gonna push it. It's done. I mean, the game is done, but we're gonna put it later, kind of like what Nintendo does. So I'm like, yes, that's what you need to do. To push it, delay it, whatever you need to do. I mean, that's if the game isn't ready, but it seems like they got so much stacked up that they could be like, yeah, okay, we're gonna move you. Y'all get extra time to polish the things on level 3 or something. Tighten up the graphics on level 3, and yeah. And so I'm like, all right, that's cool. But anyway, I appreciate, and I talk to you guys in the next. Took the way.